Welcome to Mr. Skinner's classroom. All important aspects of today's class have been recorded for students to view at a later time. This is particularly useful for students who have missed school and want to catch up before they return to school. The purpose of this warm-up quiz is to get students working as soon as the tardy bell sounds. It also provides students with practice on previous math topics. This timer will count down for them to begin the quiz in class. The warm-up quiz answers are coming up next after all students have picked up their paper at my desk, where I have photographed each one. Here are the answers. These are 5 points each and must be what's on the screen. These are 1 point each. Your lottery numbers are 2, 9, 7, 4, and 3. The following are extra credit answers for the assignment that was given as extra credit with the previous homework assignment. It could be at the beginning of the video, the middle, the end. It could be anywhere. You're just not going to see it here in class. It's added in after the fact. The objective today is to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. Solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. The following is an example problem. Here is the first example. X squared plus 6x minus 40 equals 0. To solve this by completing the square, your first step is to move the minus 40 to the right side and change the sign. Step 2 is to divide the middle term, which is 6. The coefficient of the middle term, which is 6, divide it by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 squared is 9. And what you add to the left side, you add to the right side. Again, half of 6 is 3. 3 squared is 9. You add the 9 to this side and add the 9 to that side. Simplify the right side. 40 plus 9 is 49. At this point, you should have a perfect square quadratic expression on the left-hand side because you have just created it by taking half of 6, which is 3, and squaring it to make 9. There and there, and we added it to the other side as well. Therefore, you should have x plus that 3, which was half of 6. The quantity squared of x plus 3 will be equal to 49. Off to the side, we will do x plus 3 quantity squared. This is what we came up with on the left-hand side. It's a perfect square. It's the same thing as saying this. And if we multiply these two together, we get x squared plus 3x plus 3x and then plus 9. If you add the middle terms together, it is 6x. X squared plus 6x plus 9. That's exactly what we had over here on this side, in this spot. That is a perfect square. Here is that thing written in square form. Now, to solve for x, we have to find the square root of both sides. The square root of the quantity squared of x plus 3 is simply x plus 3. The square root of 49 is plus or minus 7. So now you have two equations to solve. You have x plus 3 equals 7, and x plus 3 equals negative 7. On the left-hand side, x would equal 7 minus 3, which is 4. On the right-hand side, x equals negative 7 minus 3, which is going to be a negative 10. So negative 10, or 4, is going to be the solution to this problem. The following is an example problem. Example number 2. For this one, the problem is x squared minus 5x minus 36 equals 0. Step 1 is to keep x squared minus 5x on the left and move the minus 36 to the right. Change the sign. Next, you need half of this negative 5. Half of negative 5 means you're dividing it by what number? 2. So half of negative 5 would give you negative 5 over 2. Negative 5 over 2 on the scratch piece of paper. Half of negative 5 is negative 5 over 2. If I square that, I end up with a positive 25 over 4. You square the 5 and the 2. Double negative is positive. And you would put that 25 over 4 in this spot here. But what you do to one side, you must do to the other. And you add 25 over 4 onto the right side. You can't do anything yet with the left-hand side until you have simplified the right-hand side. 36 plus 25 over 4. We can do that over here. 36 plus 25 over 4. To get a common denominator of 4, I would have to multiply this and this by 4. 36 times 4 is going to be 144. And you have a denominator of 4 on the bottom. 25 over 4 stays the same. 144 plus 25 is 169 over 4. When you add fractions with like denominators, you do not add the denominators to get an 8. It stays 4. So we came up with 169 over 4 for the right-hand side. 169 over 4. Now we can make the left-hand side into a perfect square like we did on the last example. You need x, you need the sign that came before the middle term, minus, and you need half of the middle term. Half of the middle term here was what? 5 over 2. So 5 over 2. The quantity squared of x minus 5 over 2 equals 169 over 4. You must find the square root of both sides. So the square root of the quantity squared of 5 halves, or x minus 5 halves, and on the right hand side the square root of 169 over 4. The square root of the quantity squared of x minus 5 over 2 is just x minus 5 over 2. On the right-hand side, it's going to be plus or minus 13 over 2. You need the square root of the top, the square root of the bottom. Once you make it to this point, you have two equations to solve. X minus 5 over 2 equals 13 over 2. And x minus 5 over 2 equals a negative 13 over 2. On the left-hand side, 13 over 2 plus 5 over 2 is 18 over 2. which simplifies to 9. On the right-hand side, negative 13 over 2 plus 5 over 2 is going to be a negative 8 over 2, which simplifies to negative 4. So your answers are negative 4 or 9. Here's another example, but we're doing this with the questions and the sticks. So the first thing we're going to do is write the problem, which is x squared plus 13x plus 42 equals 0. We're doing this with fractions. If you want to do it with decimals on your homework, that's fine, but when we go through the examples and practice, we're doing it with fractions. All right, what is the first thing I have to do, Bailey? You want to move the 42 to the right-hand side. That is right. So that would give me x squared plus 13x equals a negative 42. What is the next thing I have to do? Woodrow's not here, so we'll leave her off to the side. Deems, what is the next thing I have to do? She's going to pass, and we'll go to Haskins. What's the next thing I have to do?
Divide 13 by 2.
That's right. We're going to divide 13 by 2. What is 13 divided by 2? How are we going to write it? Blevins D.
Plus 6.5.
Yeah, you could do plus 6.5. How is... But then we have to do what to it? He's right. It would be 6.5. And what would we do to 6.5? Garrett. Montavon, what would we do to the 6.5? Not yet. 6.5, we'll change the question. 6.5 is the same thing as what improper fraction, Hammond? Six and a half is what as an improper fraction, Wilburn? 6.5 is what as an improper fraction, Boyd? 13 over 2 is right. 13 over 2 is the same thing as 6.5. We're going to stick with the improper fraction. What do we do to that 13 over 2 at this point, Spradlin? That's right. We're going to square 13 over 2. What is 13 over 2 squared? Deerfield. What is 13 over 2 squared? Martin's not here, so we'll leave that off to the side. And Blevins C, what is 13 over 2 squared?
42
as an improper fraction, like we did on the example. Is how much?
26 over 4.
Close. Armstrong, what is it as an improper fraction?
169 over 4.
Yes, that is right. 169 over 4. So x squared plus 13x plus 169 over 4. What am I going to put on the right-hand side, Blizzard? Negative 42 is right, plus?
Plus 169 over 4.
Yes, plus 169 over 4. That is right. What is my next step now? That goes to Courtney. What is my next step, Carver?
You got to do the right side of the equal sign.
That's right. We have to simplify the right-hand side. So that's negative 42 plus 169 over 4. Negative 42 plus 169 over 4. What's my common denominator going to be on this? Bradley. Is how much? Can't hear you.
1/4.
The common denominator would not be 1/4. What is the common denominator, Baldrige?
4.
4 is right. Okay, so that means I'm going to have a 4 and a 4. The right-hand side does not change because it already had a denominator of 4. What am I having to multiply the top and the bottom of that first fraction by to get to my new fraction, Perry?
4.
4 is right. So what number am I going to put in that circle? And we have to start over. What number goes in the circle, Courtney?
-168.
-168, yes. So we'll put -168 in there. What is my next step now to adding these two fractions, Baldrige?
You add -168 and 169 and get 1.
That's right, it would be 1 over what?
4.
Yeah, that's it. So we can go back over here to this side and rewrite what we have. X squared plus 13x plus 169 over 4 equals 1/4. What is my next step for this? And it goes to Perry. What is the next step, Carver?
Okay, what's that?
What is the next step? What am I going to do next?
You're gonna take. You're gonna square. Now you're gonna bring down your x2.
X squared.
Yeah, your x squared.
Is there going to be a square in it?
No, it's gonna be an x. I was gonna say that you put those things up by your same parentheses.
Parentheses, then what?
Yeah, and then plus 169 over 4.
Not plus 169 over 4.
13.
13 over what?
13 over 2.
Yeah, 13 over 2. Okay, he's right. And the next question is, what's missing from those parentheses, Deerfield? What's missing from the parentheses, Montavon?
Square.
A square, yes. All right. What goes on the right-hand side? Blevins C.
And parentheses 169 over
Not on the right-hand side. What do I write on the right-hand side now, Boyd?
4. And the square root of 1 over 4.
Not the square root of 1 over 4, not yet. Haskins, what do I write on the right-hand side now?
1/4.
1/4 is right, yes. Okay, so what do I do to both sides now, Armstrong? Find the square root, yes. So I have to write that. I need the square root of the quantity squared of 13 over 2 and the square root of 1/4. All right, what is the square root of the quantity squared of x plus 13 over 2? Hammond. What is the square root of the quantity squared of x plus 13 over 2, Spradlin?
X plus 13.
That is right, x plus 13 over 2. All right, what is the square root of 1 over 4, Bailey? It's not 1. What's the square root of 1 over 4, Bradley? His what? It's not 1 over 16. Blevins D, what's the square root of 1 over 4? Close. What is the square root of 1 over 4, Deems? Square root of 1 over 4, Blizzard. Nope. Square root of 1 over 4, Garrett. 1 over 2 is close. What's the square root of 1/4, Wilburn? All right, we're going to start back over. And the square root of 1 over 4, Perry. Nope. Square root of 1 over 4, Courtney.
1.
Not 1. Square root of 1 over 4 Montavon. Square root of 1 over 4 Blizzard.
1/2.
Close. Square root of 1 over 4 Blevins D.
Plus minus a half.
Yes. Plus or minus a half. Okay, what do I do next? What do I do next? And that goes to Armstrong. All right, what do I do next, Bradley? What do I do next, Deems? What do I do next, Garrett?
You have to write x plus 13 over 2 equals a half, and then write it again so it will be -1.
That's right. X plus 13 over 2 equals 1/2, and x plus, I should say, it's too late to fix that. X plus 13 over 2 equals a -1/2. Since this is plus or minus, you write the equation twice, once with a positive, once with a -1/2. All right. Now I'm going to go over here and solve this one first on the left-hand side. What is my first step in solving this left-hand side? That goes to Wilburn. What's my first step on the left-hand side, Haskins?
You do x equals 1/2 plus 13 halves.
X equals 1/2 plus
Minus.
minus 13 over 2. That is right. Okay. 1/2 minus 13 halves. What is that? Bailey. Not a -168. Let's see. Carver. 1/2 minus 13 over 2.
-6.
1/2 minus 13 over 2 would indeed be -6. First you would have -12 over 2, and then you would have x equals a -6. So he is right. On the right hand side, what's my first step, Hammond?
Just move 13 over 2 and make it -13 over 2.
That's right. Move the 13 over 2 to the right and make it minus 13 over 2. What is -1/2 minus 13 over 2? That goes to Boyd. -7. First it would be -14 over 2, and then it would be a -7. How would I express my final answer to this problem? Can somebody read it off? Spradlin.
-7 or -6.
-7 or -6 is the right answer. The following is a practice problem. This is a bonus problem for students who have completed their practice problem and still have time to do other work. This is a bonus problem for students that are finished with their practice problem and have time to do extra work. This is a bonus problem for students who have completed their practice problem. This is a bonus problem for students who have completed the practice problem so they can do other work. Students not yet finished with the practice problem can have more time to finish. The following is a practice problem. All students will be given enough time to complete their answer and bring it to the table. The following is a bonus problem for those who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for those who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for those who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for those who have completed the practice problem. The following is a practice problem. All students will be given enough time to complete their answer and bring it to my table. The following is a bonus problem for all students who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for all students who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for all students who have completed the practice problem. The following is a bonus problem for all students who have completed the practice problem. The purpose of the end of class quiz is to measure how well students learned the basic concepts of today's lesson. There are bonus problems for faster students and lottery options for all students. The end of class quiz answers are coming up next after all students have collected their paper from the table where I have photographed each one. Your answers are 27, 43, 9, 45, and 68. Those are 5 points each. Your bonus answers are listed. Those are 1, and your lottery are 1 as well. 2, 3, 7, 10, and 1. The following homework assignment is due on the next school day. Students must show all work to get full credit, which is 100 points. Extra points are given for correct answers. Here is your homework assignment. It is not time to leave. If you are packed up, you need to unpack and put all your stuff back on your desk because you're going to start on this before the bell goes off. You cannot get up and go until the bell goes off. The following is an extra credit assignment. It is optional. Students wishing to earn extra points can try the assignment. They will get points based on correct answers. You must show all work on the extra credit if you want to attempt it. Congratulations, you have found the YouTube bonus, which is worth 20 points. Try the problem, show all work, do it on a separate sheet of paper. It will be asked for when we bring up the homework and the other extra credit. Today's YouTube bonus is x squared plus 6x minus 16 equals 0. And solve this by completing the square. Show all work that is necessary. Thank you for watching this video from my classroom. Homework assignments can also be obtained at my website, which is www.skinnermoney.com.